Okay, so I'm here with the illustrious, the iconic Deepak Chopra. Dr. Deepak Chopra, thank you so much for joining me. So KMTR TV, we are doing this interview because you are here in Eugene, Oregon. You are also introducing your book, The Healing Self. So tell us a little bit about that.
Well, the book has two components, healing and self. So by self, in this book, we mean the inner core of your being, which is beyond your body, mind, and personality, what people call soul and spirit. And of course, the word healing is related to the word holy or whole or health. They're all the same word. So healing is the return of the memory of wholeness, who you really are, which is a consciousness and awareness that modifies itself into the experience that we call mind, brain, body, and universe. So your body is an experience you're having. It's not the same body you had when you were a child or a teenager or even 2 years ago. How does this experience get amplified so you can experience a joyful, energetic body, loving, compassionate heart, reflective, alert mind, and lightness of being? And what does this have to do with the existential dilemmas that human beings have, including the fear of old age, infirmity, and death? So is there a part of our identity which is not provisional? So Deepak Chopra is a provisional identity, and it's constantly changing. Is there something which is more timeless? Once we connect with that, which people call soul, spirit, then they are holy, they are healed, but they also lose the fear of death.
And also to boost the immune system, letting go of that fear, letting go of those provisional
Anytime you experience love, compassion, joy, peace, equanimity, empathy, your immune system gets a boost because it feels connected to all there is.
And then you can let go of that inflammation. So people are going to probably ask, well, what are the practical steps? What can we do to invite those things in?
Well, tonight I'll be spending 2 hours, first in explaining the theory of true identity, then explaining the 6 pillars of well-being. Finally, I'll go into spiritual well-being, and we'll do a 20-minute meditation. So that'll be, the meditation will capture everything that I talk about tonight.
Meditation is absolutely wonderful. It's changed my life. So, in fact, your meditations with Oprah and also just on your own, healing yourself. This morning I did one. And in fact, the Chit Sat Ananda.
Yeah.
So, the existence, consciousness, awareness and joy.
So Sat means truth, Chit means awareness or consciousness, Ananda means joy. Yes. That's our fundamental state of existence before it gets overshadowed by what people call stress.
So shifting the paradigm though now in the healthcare industry, do you try to convince them, or is it just one person at a time?
No, it's happening. We now have integrative medicine programs at UCSD, where I'm a professor at the medical school. There are programs all over the country, and there's a shift in medical education. So people are beginning to understand the role of what we call whole systems biology. It's happening.
That's wonderful. And you've written almost 100 books.
No, about 85, 86.
Almost
whatever, something like that.
And it seems that people need to hear this over and over until it sinks in, and it's finally seeming to sink in.
It's a journey, and it's an evolving journey. I started talking about this 40 years ago, and now it's becoming mainstream, yes.
And one of the chapters in your book is about love. And self-love is very important.
Yeah, but self is not your ego identity. Self is that part of you that's connected to all that exists. So yes, self-love is very important. Self-acceptance is very important. But also getting to know your true self is even more important.
Right. Now, it seems like we've had a lot of this information for millennia. However, it's just now catching on.
This information was an aspect of the life of all the luminaries of both the East and West. But now, because we live in the information age, it becomes available to everyone.
Tell us a little bit about your journey. You started out as an endocrinologist and you were traditionally trained, correct?
I'm still an endocrinologist.
You still are, yes.
We have a group practice in California. I have a license in California. I teach students and other doctors. But I didn't abandon that. I only expanded that because endocrinology and internal medicine was all about the physical body, very little about the mind, and even nothing about the spirit or the soul, and nothing about the environment. But it's all coming together now as what we call integrative medicine.
Right. I love what you've infused into healthcare.
Well, thank you.
It just seems like if we could overhaul the healthcare industry, and what if the first year of medical school could be helping doctors find, number one, their intuitive gifts, their spiritual gifts, and then have them implement all of that into the biology and the
It's
chemistry.
happening, and we are also using now artificial intelligence to analyze the microbiome, which is 2 million genes in your body, which are as important as the human genes. We are using now augmented reality, virtual reality to reset people's image of themselves. So, a lot of eating disorders, anxiety, depression are a result of a poor self-image, but you can correct that now with all the technologies amplified by the meditation.
Right. Some people say that there's now an imbalance because of AI and the spiritual aspect. What do you think about that?
Yeah, there is an imbalance, but the fact is technology is unstoppable. So once you embrace technology, which I've done, then you use everything you know about consciousness and spirit, and everything you know about integration and whole systems biology to amplify that experience. So technology is neutral. How we use it depends on us. And unfortunately, our technology has outpaced our emotional and spiritual development. And with that, there's danger. But if we bring our emotional and spiritual development to the table, then we can use technology not only for individuals, but groups and ultimately globally, because what is the internet if not a global community and a global brain?
Absolutely. What would you like to share with our followers, with the tribes out there, with KMTR TV viewers?
Start your day with asking yourself quietly in silence, close your eyes, who am I, what do I want, what's my purpose, what am I grateful for, and start every day with those 4 intentions: joyful, energetic body, loving, compassionate heart, reflective, alert mind, and lightness of being. That starts you on your journey.
Wonderful. And then what about to those decision makers in healthcare, whether it be politicians or world leaders?
I think they're very far behind. What they talk about right now is not about health and well-being. It's a sickness care system, and basically they're talking about insurance. As we move forward, the future of well-being will be personalized, predictable, preventable, participatory, and process-oriented. And it's happening because it's not the government, it's not even doctors or hospitals. It's startup companies that are facilitating this, and there's a grassroots movement that's already happening. And then the medical schools and the medical education and the insurance companies and the government, they'll follow, because that'll be what the world wants.
Absolutely. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Thank you.
I have to share it with your followers as well. that one of your meditations really resonated with me this week, in fact. So we weren't sure if we were going to have a photographer for this actual interview. We had some breaking news that happened, and I thought I was going to be on this journey on my own. You know, the famous Deepak Chopra, and here I was going to one-man band it.
Yeah.
And so I had an intention that everything was just going to go with the flow. I was going to use your mantra, just go with the flow.
That's called synchronicity.
Exactly. And I just thought, you know, I'm going to have the faith. I'm going to trust in the universe. And lo and behold, Rob here, who's behind the camera, he shows up this morning. Our news director says, guess what? We have a photographer for you. Perfect. So the universe has our back.
Always. I'll talk about synchronicity and what happens when we experience synchronicity. Some people call it good luck, others call it the grace of God. It doesn't matter. But when opportunity and preparedness come together, synchronicity happens.
I absolutely believe that. So
well,
thank you so much.
Thank you for doing this.
Absolutely. Thank you for joining us.
Perfect.
Thank you so
thank you.
much.
Thank you.
It's such a pleasure.
So you'll be able to show this, huh?
Oh yeah,
Today?
We'll share it on all of
Yeah.
our pages.
I'll put it